The crypto world is in shambles for like the 69th time, as the second largest cryptocurrency exchange valued at $32 billion collapsed because of a liquidity crunch. Too much jargon for you, no? Let us make this story simpler for you. As the name implies, an exchange facilitates cryptocurrency transactions. They will locate a buyer if you wish to sell something. They'll find a seller if you're going to buy something. Through this, they, which is FTX in our illustration, profited every time a transaction was completed. Now, the second half. The term liquidity crunch is a fancy way of saying customers wanted their money back. They'd saved money on the exchange in the hopes of purchasing and selling cryptocurrency in the future. And when FTX refused to refund their money, all hell broke loose. But wait, if an exchange is only acting as a middleman, it should never have difficulty repaying the funds, right? CZ, the CEO of Binance, the biggest crypto exchange, showed interest in FTX when it started and bought a stake. His wager paid well as the popularity of FTX rose. It received a large sum of money from outside investors, and its valuation skyrocketed. But then in 2021, FTX bought back its stake. And despite the rumors, the separation was friendly. Binance profited $2.1 billion on the transaction. Furthermore, FTX no longer had to be concerned about a competitor controlling a portion of its business. The only caveat here, it wasn't an all-cash deal. Some of it was paid in FTT tokens, which were FTX's own cryptocurrency, and CZ held on to those tokens. Until the right moment, CZ declared that he was selling all his FTT due to some concerns over its strength. He owned a lot of those tokens, and when something is sold in such a high volume, prices come crashing down. But just when you thought it was all over, another twist erupted in the story. CZ enters with main character energy and announces that he is prepared to buy out FTX pending due diligence. He is now the last resort's lender. Technically, not a lender, but he's holding up the deal, telling everyone to be calm, signaling that he'd pay them in full if they still intended to move out of FTX altogether. Many people believe that this will put an end to the panic. But what if the accusations are true? What if FTX handled consumer payments incorrectly? Will he still go forward with the deal? Turns out everything that could go wrong went wrong, and CZ did walk out of the deal, leaving all the investors jumping on thin ice. Now, what does this teach us? Why the hell is this topic on a cybersecurity channel? This entire situation only sheds light on how unregulated the crypto scenario is. Decentralized cryptocurrency means that no agency, organization, or governing body regulates the production, administration, or movement of cryptocurrencies. And if you think this is the only problem, and that cryptocurrencies and blockchains are safe from cyber threats, just because they are highly encrypted or something, keep watching to know how far away the truth you are. And here are all the cyber threats involved just in the idea of cryptocurrencies. Number 1. Phishing. Phishing assaults are quite widespread, especially outside of the cryptosphere. Essentially, phishing is a technique used by hackers to appear to be from a trustworthy firm, such as a cryptocurrency trading platform, in order to contact subscribers and get them to execute some activity. It might be anything from clicking on a questionable website to having them send their login information. Hackers employ phishing schemes to get cryptocurrency users to hand up their digital assets. Common phishing techniques used by hackers to take advantage of crypto investors include spear phishing, DNS hijacking, phishing bots, and bogus browser extensions. Number 2. Fraud platforms. Because Bitcoin is still in its early stages, new trading platforms are developing in an attempt to earn the trust of consumers interested in investing in cryptocurrency. Not all of these sites, however, are authentic. Take, for example, OneCoin. OneCoin appeared to be a credible cryptocurrency corporation that enticed consumers by promising high profits, but the entire currency system turned out to be a hoax. It was discovered to be a multi-level marketing fraud that cost consumers a lot of money. Not every crypto-related danger takes the shape of a hack or data leak. Fraudulent conduct can sometimes take place right in front of your eyes. Number 3. Third-party apps. In certain cases, cryptocurrency investors will use third-party apps or software to handle their digital assets. For example, it's usual for investors to use cryptocurrency tax reporting services, but doing so exposes them to additional cybersecurity concerns. Once, after hacking into CryptoTrader, a hacker was able to steal data from over 1,000 people. According to reports, the hacker got access by logging into the accounts of marketing and customer service representatives, which disclosed sensitive information that puts consumers in danger. Number 4. Account security. It's vital to realize that users gain access to their digital assets through the use of a private key, which is effectively a sophisticated password code. Many users will keep their private keys on their laptops, but this is dangerous. If hackers obtain access to your computer, they will be able to log into your digital account using that private key. Because Bitcoin is not highly regulated, there is no mechanism to recover a stolen private key. Because investors are solely responsible for keeping their private keys out of the hands of hackers, crypto investing is riskier than regular investments. Number 5. User confusion. Blockchain technology, as well as the nature of Bitcoin itself, is incredibly complicated and difficult to grasp. Typically, businesses generate something that investors can see, touch, or utilize. However, digital currency is effectively a non-entity, existing solely in the ether of the internet. Even the creator of Bitcoin, the first and most popular cryptocurrency, is a shadowy figure known only by the alias Satoshi Nakamoto. Number 6. 51% attacks. Because cryptocurrency blockchains rely on consensus processes for transaction validation, that is, proof of work and proof of stake, they are vulnerable to 51% attacks. Essentially, attackers, often huge organizations or nation-states, gain control of a blockchain's processing power or accessible cache, allowing them to make new transactions and modify existing ones. For example, Bitcoin uses a proof-of-work consensus process, which requires complicated mathematical equations to be solved in order to approve transactions. To succeed, attackers must control at least 51% of overall computing power at any given moment, which necessitates massive quantities of equipment and energy. As a result, it is unlikely that any bad entity other than a hostile government could carry out a 51% attack against Bitcoin. Other blockchains are a very different story. Ethereum, for example, has been the victim of a successful 51% assault. Although the amount stolen was not much more than $1 million, the possibility of a large-scale attack on smaller cryptocurrency blockchains exists. Number 7. Weak smart contracts. Smart contracts, which are simply codes that allow automated transaction execution when specific criteria are satisfied, are frequently used in cryptocurrency markets. As with any programming, they frequently include flaws that go unnoticed, allowing hackers to divert cryptocurrency for their own purposes. Because blockchains are decentralized, many people with varying levels of programming skill are developing smart contracts. This in itself is cause for alarm. However, even experienced programmers and security specialists admit that adequately safeguarding smart contracts is challenging. Number 8. Malware. In essence, crypto malware is a sort of malware that allows unauthorized users to mine bitcoins on the computer or server of another individual. Hackers will use one of two techniques to infect someone's computer. Using phishing-like methods, victims are tricked into installing dangerous programs on their computers, or cybercriminals introduce malicious code into websites or advertising. When victims interact with them, the code is triggered, granting hackers access. Now, look at the FTX situation again. All investors, including renowned hedge funds, had high confidence in the entity. Yet, when the crisis unfolded, it was lacking more than $1 billion of investors' funds. Not so decentralized after all, was it? We'll let you think about this. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.